It's not the flash of a supercar or the noise of a trending stock. It's a different kind of quiet. The soft click of a time-worn watch, the scent of old books in a family library. This is the world of old money, less about the fortune you just made and more about the dynasty you're trying to keep. But here is the brutal, hidden truth behind that elegant facade. 70% of wealthy families lose it all by the second generation. 90% are broke by the third. It makes you wonder, how do the rare few who succeed, the ones who build legacies that last for centuries, actually do it? My name is Beatrice, and if you're anything like me, you're fascinated by the answer. It's not about luck. It's a deliberate 7-stage journey that separates the immortal fortunes from the forgotten ones. And that journey is what we're here to explore. It's not a simple checklist. Think of it more as a secret map for a perilous voyage. This map has 7 distinct stages, and each one represents a critical, make-or-break crossroads for a family's legacy. One wrong turn, one critical miscalculation, and the entire empire can begin to unravel. So, in this video, we are going to unfold that map together. We'll trace the steps of legendary families who successfully navigated these stages, and we'll learn from the cautionary tales of those who lost their way and their fortunes forever. Our journey begins at the very source, at stage 1, the foundational generation. This is the spark, the moment where sheer will, a brilliant idea, or an audacious risk carves a fortune out of nothing. It's the birth of the legend. For a masterclass in this, we look to the Dupont family. When Eliphère Irénée Dupont, a chemist's son, fled the French Revolution for America, he didn't just bring his family, he brought a singular expertise. He saw that the young nation's gunpowder was terrible. So, on the banks of Brandywine Creek in Delaware, he built a mill. You have to imagine it, the constant raw danger, the air thick with the smell of sulfur and charcoal. This wasn't a clean digital startup. It was a gritty, elemental business built on precision and risk. From those smoke-filled mills, an empire grew, transforming from explosives to the chemical giant we know today, with a family fortune still estimated at over $16 billion as recently as 2020. The foundation was built on tangible value and relentless innovation. Now for the contrast, a story of ambition without foundation. Think of John DeLorean, a rock star engineer at General Motors. He dreamed of building a revolutionary, ethical sports car. The result was the DeLorean DMC-12, an icon of design. We can all picture it, the unpainted stainless steel skin, the futuristic silhouette, those incredible gull-wing doors. It was a masterpiece of style. But the foundation was rotten. The car was underpowered, overpriced, and plagued with issues. The vision was a mirage built on ego. Instead of the DuPont's patient, generational focus on a core product, DeLorean's story is one of frantic shortcuts and desperate measures, ending in a high-profile scandal and financial abyss. One built an empire on substance, the other a beautiful hollow shell. But creating wealth is one thing, giving it a soul is another. This brings us to stage 2, values and virtues. This is the invisible architecture, the moral compass that guides a family through prosperity. It answers the question, what do we stand for beyond the money? There's a reason for the saying, old money whispers while new money shouts. No one embodied this whisper more than the Rockefellers. John D. Rockefeller, the wealthiest man in modern history, was famously frugal. He instilled in his children a strict ethos of thrift, hard work, and above all, privacy. They were taught that wealth was a responsibility, a tool, not a license for indulgence. The children had to earn their allowance, keep detailed ledgers, and contribute to chores. This wasn't about hoarding. It was about building a moral and psychological framework strong enough to contain the immense power of their fortune. The value wasn't the money, the value was the discipline. Contrast this with the legacy of a man like Henry Clay Frick, an industrialist and one-time partner of Andrew Carnegie. In business, he was ruthless and effective, amassing a colossal fortune. But what was the family's guiding philosophy beyond accumulation? Today, his legacy is a magnificent art collection housed in his former New York mansion. You can walk through its gilded halls and admire masterpieces. But there's a certain coldness to it, a feeling of opulence without a living, breathing mission. The wealth became a collection of beautiful objects, a monument to the past, rather than a dynamic force for the future. Without a strong, transmissible set of values, the energy behind the fortune dissipated, leaving behind gilded but empty halls. With a foundation built and a moral compass set, the next storm to weather is time itself. Welcome to Stage 3, Investment in Longevity. A single successful business is a target. A diversified, interconnected portfolio is a fortress. This is about ensuring the family's economic survival beyond the fortunes of one company or one industry. The Rothschilds are the undisputed masters of this stage. Their genius wasn't just in banking, it was in creating a network. Meyer Amschel Rothschild famously sent his 5 sons to 5 key European cities: Frankfurt, Vienna, London, Naples, and Paris. They weren't just opening branches, they were creating the 19th century's most sophisticated intelligence and financial network. They communicated via courier, sharing information faster than governments. They invested in industries, financed railways, and funded nations. Their wealth wasn't a single pile of gold in a vault. It was a web woven into the very fabric of the European economy, making them resilient to the collapse of any single market. And for the tragic counterpoint, we have the Stroh Brewery family. For 149 years, they were an American institution. At their peak in the 1980s, their fortune was valued at what would be $9 billion today. Their name was synonymous with beer. But that was the problem. They were a beer family, and only a beer family. As consumer tastes shifted towards light beers and craft brews, they failed to adapt. As the industry consolidated, they were outmaneuvered. They had put all their chips on one number. The end was a slow, painful decline. You can almost picture it, the great assembly lines where the Stroh family's dreams were bottled, slowing down, sputtering, and finally grinding to a halt. A 149-year history and a $9 billion fortune evaporated. It's a chilling reminder that what built you can also bury you if you refuse to evolve. These first 3 stages build the fortress. But the greatest threat to any dynasty often comes not from the outside world, but from within its own walls. And that is where most empires begin to crumble. Welcome to Stage 4, the Inheritance Challenge. I like to call it the Great Filter, because this is where that fortress we built is tested not by siege engines from the outside, but by the hands of its own heirs. As a family tree branches out over generations, the wealth thins and the shared purpose can evaporate, often replaced by rivalry. For the most poignant cautionary tale in all of old money history, we need only whisper one name: Vanderbilt. Cornelius the Commodore Vanderbilt forged an empire of railroads and shipping, but his heirs waged a war not of business, but of spectacle. This was the Gilded Age, and they were its kings. They fought a battle of the mansions down Fifth Avenue, each palace trying to eclipse the last. Their summer cottages in Newport, like the Breakers, were monuments to competitive spending. Biltmore Estate wasn't just a home, It was America's largest, a private Versailles built to prove a point. The lavish balls were the stuff of legend, but underneath the glimmering chandeliers, the family's fortune was being fatally consumed, not reinvested. The result was a slow, majestic collapse. Within a few generations, not a single Vanderbilt was a millionaire. The name, once synonymous with unimaginable wealth, became a symbol of its loss. Now contrast that with the Pritzker family, founders of the Hyatt hotel empire. They saw this great filter coming. They meticulously wove a complex web of trusts and legal frameworks, a system designed to bind the family together as much as to protect the assets. Their fortress had a constitution. The result? Their legacy is not only a thriving global enterprise, but has produced a sitting state governor, J.B. Pritzker of Illinois. They transformed wealth into enduring public influence. The Vanderbilts were shipwrecked by the Great Filter. The Pritzkers sailed right through it. It proves that without a strategic plan for your people, your portfolio is just paper. But even with a plan, a family's reputation can be destroyed by something far more corrosive than just lavish spending. And that corrosive force is the court of public opinion, a stage where your family's very name is either immortalized or infamous. This brings us to stage 5, social responsibility. This is the moment a family transcends being merely rich and begins to be respected. It's the alchemy that turns profit into purpose. Look at the Melon family. They didn't just write checks, they built the very cathedrals of art and halls of knowledge that define American culture. Their fortune funded medical research, endowed universities, and preserved vast natural landscapes. Their name isn't just on a bank, it's etched onto the soul of a nation. But what happens when philanthropy is just a mask, a strategic front for a hollow core? For that lesson, we must look at the Maxwells. Robert Maxwell presented himself as a larger-than-life media mogul, a friend to world leaders. But his empire was a house of cards, built on hundreds of millions of dollars stolen from his own employees' pension funds. When he died, the financial rot wasn't contained. It metastasized into a moral one in the next generation. His daughter, Ghislaine, would seal the family name in utter infamy. The Maxwells provide the starkest lesson of all. Financial bankruptcy is temporary, but moral bankruptcy leaves an irrevocable stain. It is a point of no return. So if values are the bedrock and reputation is the fortress, what's the master key to making it all last? That is stage 6, wealth education. And no one alive today does this better than Bernard Arnault. As the patriarch of LVMH, he oversees a luxury empire valued at nearly $250 billion. But his most important work might be what he does in the boardroom with his 5 children. He doesn't just give them board seats, he holds formal 2-hour meetings where they are expected to dissect strategies, debate acquisitions, and form their own opinions. He is personally passing down not just capital, but decades of hard-won wisdom. It's the ultimate apprenticeship. And it's this deliberate transfer of knowledge that prepares a dynasty for its final and most elusive stage of all, achieving a true, lasting legacy. This brings us to the 7th and final stage, legacy. This is the moment a family transcends its balance sheet to become part of the cultural firmament. It's when a name no longer just means wealth, but represents an idea, an era, an influence woven into the very fabric of history. Think of the Kennedys. Their financial power was the foundation, but their true legacy is Camelot, an enduring presence in politics, philanthropy, and our collective memory. Their name is a symbol. Contrast this with the Astors. For a time, they were New York society, the arbiters of everything. Yet today, their once unshakable influence has faded into a historical anecdote, a quiet echo in the gilded ballrooms of the past. It's the final, gentle lesson. Wealth can build an empire, but only a transcendent purpose can make it immortal. So, that's the map. The 7 stages that separate a fleeting fortune from a lasting dynasty. From the raw foundation of a new venture, through the great filters of inheritance and social responsibility, all the way to a legacy that echoes through time. We've journeyed through it all, and now I'm curious to hear from you. Which of these stages do you personally believe is the most crucial, the one true breaking point? Let me know in the comments. If you're fascinated by the hidden architecture of enduring success, I invite you to subscribe. We have so many more stories to explore together. Until next time!